Congress.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, and thank our panel. Recent ransomware and other cyber attacks have highlighted our vulnerabilities, shown the difficulties in holding those who perpetrate these attacks accountable, and it should not escape any of us that the vast majority of these significant cyber attacks originate from within countries that just happen to be our greatest foreign adversaries, Russia and China. It's my belief that the best defense is a good offense, and that goes for ransomware as well. We have to put Russia and China on notice that they will be held accountable for these organizations operating freely in their companies. I think back to the 2014 OPM hack, put millions of Americans' records at risk, tens of millions. This is something the Congress and the American government simply has to address. With that, Dr. Damoff, there's been a significant uptick in ransomware attacks on healthcare organizations, certainly since 2016. Now, I was amused when you said you had never written a note in a chart. You'd always EMRs. I actually go back to the days when we had a lot of paper, and we got a lot of work done. So I would say while technology and the internet certainly has made huge advantages in medicine, I'm concerned that we're not ready for cyber attacks. Is there a single vulnerability that you would point to that that's worse than any of our other vulnerabilities in healthcare?
Thank you so much for that question. If I could point to a single one, it's at the heart of what you mentioned, which was this hyper-connectivity that was accelerated over the last 11 or so years by meaningful use. The thought we would digitize healthcare rapidly to improve care.
Everything's connected to everything.
Yeah, and I think the commensurate security required for that did not happen and did not occur. And so we are in a position now where we have a very difficult sector, generally a soft target for cyber attacks and ransomware. And then on top of that, we have a lot of demands, especially over the last year. The COVID pandemic has spread thin many healthcare delivery organizations across this country and across the world. And as a consequence, they are left juggling many different constraints, of which only cybersecurity is one of them.
Yeah, and I would dare say that we're not paying as much attention to cybersecurity as we were before the pandemic. Everybody's a little tired. I appreciate that. In the interest of time, I'm going to switch gears a bit here. The U.S. government confirmed just yesterday mass ransomware attack on Microsoft earlier this year was done at the direction of the Chinese government. However, even before this acknowledgement, anyone would be naive to believe that these recent ransomware attacks and cyber attacks are truly perpetuated by rogue criminal organizations within authoritarian China and Russia with no connection to or tacit permission from these authoritarian governments. So Ms. Walden, Microsoft Research Asia, MSRA, located in Beijing, notes on their website, technologies from MSRA have had a large influence within Microsoft and around the world, and new technologies are constantly born from MSRA. MSRA has achieved breakthrough results in many areas of basic applied computer research, and these results are transferred into Microsoft's products, end quote. Many experts, regulators around the world have come to, I believe, the rightful conclusion there is no such thing as a private company in China, that virtually everything that happens in that country happens with at least a prevention of, if not at the direction of, the Communist Party. Do you believe that the fact that you're making these products in China makes them more or less vulnerable, or makes us more or less vulnerable? Yes or no? I mean, are we safer because of it? I don't think so.
Well, thank you for the question. As you pointed out, there are challenges for doing business in China. And we operate on a zero trust basis, and we operate with our values. We don't.
They can compel your information.
Right,
So,
but we store no data, no U.S. data in China, and we operate on the principle of zero trust and secure that data.
But the code is also yours, right, and theirs. The codes you write, software code you write, it's theirs as well as yours.
For Chinese products and services. But I will tell you this, from an investigation point of view, and I'm in the digital crimes unit, we go after cyber criminals and their infrastructure wherever they may be, and that will include China or Russia or other unfriendly jurisdictions.
So we're running out of time, but I would say, like most of us, I think we're nervous about the fact that you're working so closely with the Chinese government in China. I liked your comment on the cryptocurrency, by the way, and it looks more like a security than a currency.